So guys, again, the reason for this call tonight is because we are catching up with today. We've had a couple of setups posted today. As you can see here on the left hand side, we have 4 setups posted, and we're going to go through each and every one of them. So far, I believe your CHF would have already done the job for us. But let's get straight into it. So Euro CHF called a sell around 114.153, right? So I'm going to use Bounceback interface for now, and then we're going to go straight into Telegram. So 114.153. So put in our horizontal line, looking for that entry price. Right, got called on the 1 hour time frame, so we're going to drop down to the 15-minute and draw a trend line. Right, draw a trend line. I think it got called around here. There we go, that's where it got called. Now, using Bounceback interface alone, guys, when you look here, right, we had an uptrend coming all the way up. This uptrend actually started from the 3rd of May, right? We had an uptrend coming all the way up. But if you look over here, right, today, we had an impulse. If I go over to the 30-minute time frame so you can see the impulse better. So we had an impulse move, so we had a strong move to the downside, and now we have a flag, right? Why is somebody drawing on the screen? Whoever it is that drew those purple things on the screen, please remove them. Please remove. Thank you. And that last one there, thanks. Great, so we had an impulse, right? And now we have a flag. So the beauty about drawing trend lines, right, is if you get the trend line drawn correct, you would notice that usually when a trade breaks through a trend line, right, it has to come back and retest it. Now, Bounceback has called our entry here where this orange line is. Now, let's look back and see what happened around this orange line. What happened around this area? You know, last week we were talking about structure, identifying structure. So let's look for support equals resistance around this area. So we could see structure happening here. I'm gonna change that color for you. All right, so we see structure there. We also see structure happening around here, right? 2 areas that we see structure happening. And by structure, what do I mean? We see an area where the trade comes up and reverse, right? Comes down, reverse, right? Comes up here, fades out, back down. So we can see that this is a strong area. Now we've also identified this particular point here as structure, because we can see how the trade came up here, reverse, and now that it broke through our trend line, what is it doing here? It's actually testing the same structure that we would have identified, right? It's actually testing the same structure. So if we are looking for this trade to drop any further, we now need to identify the next structure so that we know where our take profit would be. So if we zoom out a bit, I can see some reversals happening here, here, here. You know, a bit of exhaustion happening here. And then we see the reversals back here again. So I would identify this point right here, right, as structure. This is the point I'm identifying as structure, right? So next take profit for me would be to this point here, which is around another 15 pips. And this is how I want you guys to start trading bounce back. Don't just go and bounce back and say to yourself, you know what, I want to catch 30 pips off of this trade. It doesn't work that way, right? Trading is about identifying what the chart is telling you. Now, all you need to do is look at the chart, right? You guys should know simple support and resistance. It is taught in the basics folder, right? And once you understand simple support and resistance, all you need to do if you're looking for a take profit point is to look and identify areas where you see a lot of exhaustion, where you see a lot of reversals happening, right? Exhaustion is any area that you see a lot of wicks, right? A lot of wicks happening. So, like I said, we have this impulse. Now we have this flag, right? Now, personally, if I was getting into this trade, and this is how I want you guys to start trading as well, let me put a price label. I'll be getting in at the bottom of structure. So I will be setting my call level under this structure here that I would have identified. You know why? Because if the sellers come down here and they break this point, guess where we're heading next? To the next structure that we've identified. So don't just say, okay, well, you know, price is currently, we had an impulse, it's flagging, definitely going to continue because, you know, the rules are impulse flag continuation. No. Yes, the rules are impulse flag continuation, but you also need your additional confirmations. And in this case, once you would have identified structure and added into your rules as well, all you need to do now is look and see what price does around your area of structure. We're looking for a strong bearish candle, sell candle, or red candle for those who are beginners to come now and actually close with a full body around this structure point, this box that I have that I identified, right? So let's do another pair. Let's do GBP USD. It says buy GBP USD around 136.29. So I'm going to go actually to trading view, give you a better screen. Right? So it says buy GBP USD around 136.29. So let's identify 136.29. Horizontal line. Actually, let me use the red. 136.29. Coordinates. Good. All right. So this red line here is where you see Bounceback is calling the buy from, right? Which you can see as well above now. Now, this is how I want you guys to always trade going forward. Now, we would have talked about, a couple sessions ago, we would have talked about boxing in price from the monthly. Don't just take a trade. Don't just take a signal. Make sure that you do your work. You box in price from the monthly, you come in on the weekly, and you further box in price so you can see how many lines come down here and they identify the uptrends and downtrends here, right? Coming into the daily, I actually didn't do this one. I just did the closest one, which was this one here, coming up here. Let me move my Fibonacci. Right? Coming into the 4-hour time frame, now you can see it very clearly. So I identified this uptrend. So what do we have here, right? First thing first, identifying structure, right? So why did the trade come down here and then it turned around? If you look left, what's happening around this point, right? If you look left, what's happening? The trade came here, then we had a strong move up. Came back here, another strong move up. Came here, buffered here a bit, strong move back up. So what is this telling you about this area? Right? This area is showing you that this is a major zone, right? This is a major zone on the 4-hour time frame where the trade is actually coming and reversing and having a strong impulse to the upside, right? So when the trade was coming down here, all you need to do now from a trading perspective is look for some type of rejection. And by rejection, I mean you want to start to look for the sellers to lose their momentum. So notice as we come down here to this structure, how the body of the seller's candles actually started to get very small, right? They actually started to get very small. So you know that the momentum of the sell is actually slowing down, right? Compared to all of these large body candles that we had before. Good. So price started an uptrend. You can see this was the second structure here that I identified, this one here. And why did I identify this as structure? Simply by looking left. What do we have here? Price came here, tested, strong move to the upside. Came back here, tested, strong move to the upside. Every time price comes to this point, we have a major reversal back up to the upside, right? So when price got into this area, this is similar to the same Euro CHF we were just talking about, right? If you want to see if you should get into a trade at structure, you need a strong bodied candle to break structure. And by that I mean this. Let me show you. Right? Look at this candle at structure. Look at that candle at structure. We have a strong body candle closing on structure. So you don't see any wicks in this candle here. There are no wicks there. All you see is a strong body candle. So we know from here we're going up. Continuation, right? So this candle broke through structure. We came up, and what did we have? We had a flag. So what do we have here? What are the rules? Impulse, flag, continuation, right? So we had a continuation here where price tried to break through here, didn't hold above. So we don't have 5, 6, 7 candles going across. We have one candle, and then the second candle then started to take us all the way back down. So price is now flagging, right? But once you would have identified your uptrend by drawing your trend line, your flag should then start to respect your trend line, right? So notice we came up here, we flagged to the trend line. We didn't only just flag to the trend line, we flagged to the trend line and also structure, right? This is key. This is key, and I want everybody to write down in their notepads confluence. A lot of you would have heard me talking about confluence before. So this is an area of confluence, right? And I'm going to explain what confluence is. So right here is an area of confluence. And what that means is that we have two types of traders in the market, right? We have support and resistance traders, and we have trend line traders, right? Now, support and resistance traders mean that when a trader sees that that prices come down to a support, like here, where you can see my mouse, right here, and they see a form of rejection at that particular structure or support, right? Then they will buy to the next structure, right? So they basically trade it in between support and resistance zones. Trend line traders obviously draw a trend line when they see an uptrend or a downtrend, right? And they then sell or buy based on the rejection of that trend line. So if they see rejection here, they're going to buy on the trend line. Now, confluence, right? Confluence is where support and resistance traders meet trend line traders, right? So you can see that structure is at this point, but also our trend line is also here. So what this means is that if we see rejection here at this support area, right, we also have our trend line here. Guess what? We're going to have both types of traders participating in the market together, right? So you would have, in this case, you would have the support and resistance traders buying along with the trend line traders buying. And guess what happens when you have that type of situation? Look at the strength of that candle, right? This is so key. So I hope you guys are writing this down, right? Look at the strength of that candle. That candle was 157 pips in 4 hours, 1 day. That is confluence. When support and resistance traders meet trend line traders. So you can see how we had the impulse, flag, back to the trend line, also back to support, where both of them meet, right? And then we had the continuation to the upside, right? So now we have another flag. We're back to the trend line, but we're not at structure, so it's not confluence. No, we're just participating in a trend line. So basically, trend line traders will only be trading at this point, right? So what do we have here? We have a flag that brought us all the way back testing the trend line, right? So bounce back called a buy here. So if you understand how to draw up your charts, right? And because I have this trend line drawn every since, right? All I wanted to do was to watch price at this point when it touched my trend line. So if I am telling myself, let me watch price when it touched my trend line, and bounce back sends out a signal saying buy GBP USD around the trend line area, that's 2 confirmations. That's me calling my own trade, and that's bounce back then giving me a second confirmation that the trade is definitely going in that direction, right? So the trade came down here today. We had a bounce off the trend line, and now we're heading back up, right? So everybody who would have entered this trade should be in profits. Why? Because if you identify coming down from the 1 hour time frame, got called on the 1 hour time frame, so we're at the 15-minute, and we're going to identify our downtrend. So your downtrend could have been here, right? Or could have been here. Any of those 2 points, wherever bounce back would have called the trade, you can see how we got a break to the upside. Even in this one, we got a break to the upside, right? So you got 2 trend lines. I'm just showing you how we would have identified this short-term downtrend for a break to get our buy, right? So you have those. So let me remove those for now. So we're in this trade, and we want to know where should our take profit be? If you're going into the trade here at this red line, where should your take profit be? All you need to do is look for structure, right? Look for structure. In this case, structure would be here. Why? This is resistance. This is support. The trade bounces off of this area. So guess what? This is TP1 for you, right? This is TP1 right up to this structure point, right? Which is about 26 pips. And guess what as well? It brings us right back to our trend line. So my message to you is, guys, every single Sunday, draw up your charts before the markets open. Because guess what? You're not just doing yourself a favor with regards to learning the skill, but you're doing yourself a favor for preparing for the bounce back calls. Because when bounce back calls a trade, you should be able to understand if bounce back is calling a buy to a particular trend line or a sell to a particular trend line, right? And even if you start to identify things like confluence, which I would have taught you tonight, right? you would know that at an area of confluence, look for a sharp impulse either to the upside or to the downside. Why? Because confluence is when you have support and resistance traders trading the market at the same area that trend line traders will trade the market as well. So it's where support and resistance traders meet trend line traders together, right? So guys, I really want to emphasize and encourage you to please draw up your charts every single Sunday. There are about 25, 27, 28 of them that Stevenson Lindor actually does on a Sunday night in his weekly outlook. Draw them up because it's for you. It will help you. I drew up these charts on Sunday, and I can tell you when bounce back calls a trade is like cake to me because I already know what it is I'm looking for in terms of looking for my own trades. Because I would just tell myself, okay, when the trade is coming down in this trend line, I don't know if it's gonna break or if it's gonna bounce. You know, none of us really knows this as yet, right? What we do is that we monitor the trade at the area. So in this zone, I would just say to myself, Karen, let me monitor the trade at this trend line, right? I want to see some type of momentum. Are we going to bounce or are we going to break? What else can I identify in this area that would give me my confirmation that we're going to bounce or break? And then bounce back calls out a trade saying it's going to bounce by GBP USD. It's a win-win situation, guys. Right? So I hope that this is being useful. I'm going to do one more. We're going to do GBP JPY. So let's do GBP JPY. All right. This was a nice one. So GBP JPY called a buy from bounce back at 144.145. So let's look for that. 144.145. Good. Just gonna move my price label. All right. So bounce back called a buy on GBP JPY around this point. Let's look left and see why did bounce back called a buy. Actually, I'm going to remove it so we can identify it ourselves. I'm also going to remove this, right? So let's go up one time frame to the 4-hour time frame, and let's see why did bounce back called a buy where this red line is, right? Why did bounce back call a buy here? All right, guys. So we're looking left, right? And what do you see? What do you see? What do you see? Can somebody put it in the chat box? What am I looking at here? Please tell me I wasn't wasting my time for the last couple of minutes I was speaking. What do you see? Put it in the chat box. What do you see? One word beginning with S. Who's paying attention? Sherry says support. Right? Support. Exactly what we call structure, right? This is a strong support zone. Strong support zone. This is on the 4-hour time frame, guys. Furthermore, let's go up to the daily. Let's see if it's a strong support zone on the daily as well. Yes, look. So if you got a strong support zone coming from the daily, what is that telling you? The daily is the godfather chart of the 4-hour. The 4-hour is the godfather chart of the 1-hour, right? So we are at strong support. And all we need to do now is to identify, right, if price is going to break structure or if it's going to bounce, right? If price is going to break structure or if it's going to bounce. So right now we are at structure. Price has not broken through it. is currently testing it is within structure at the moment, right? And Bounceback called it on the 1 hour time frame. Good. So let's come down to the 15-minute, right? This trade is not quite ready as yet. First thing we're going to do is identify our downtrend. So you could have gone in here. I think I would have called this trade today with the team. So if you would have drawn it today, you would have had your trend line here. If you're drawing it now, your trend line can be here, right? All we're waiting for is for price to break above our trend line. Now, guys, we talked about this just now, right? This is structure. You see this blue box? This is structure. Yes, Bounceback called the buy here where you see this little red line. But me, Karen, personally, not getting into this trade until this has broken structure. So I will set a call level. 1 second, did the wrong thing there. I will set a call level right now, right? I will set a call level right here at 144,198. And all I want my call level to do is to tell me that price has reached that point, which means that price is now above or testing the top of my structure. Because if I'm looking for a buy, if you notice right now, price is still within my box. I want it to come out. I need to see some sort of momentum to the upside. So if I'm looking for momentum to the upside, I need to see price breaking above support, right? So my call level will be 144,198. And when my call level goes off, I'm going to come back to my trading view. I'm going to look and just ensure that it is a full-bodied candle that closed above my support zone, right, or my structure, and not a wick. Because if it's a wick, then I know it's not ready. It just touched it. But if I see a strong body candle right here around this area, right, then I know it's a go. We're getting in for the buy. And I will be trading to here, anywhere around here, right? So anywhere around 144,650. 144.650. That's where I'll be trading to, right? Because that's my next trend line. That's my next trend line that I've identified. So I'm trading to here, right? So guys, I hope that this call was useful. I hope that you've learned something. And guys, might I remind you to draw up your charts. It is important. It is very, very important. This call is recorded, so you guys can actually go back and read over this again, watch over it again, and make notes and practice. So until Thursday, I'll catch you guys on the next Zoom call. Thank you for joining me tonight. Take care.